Hi, welcome to Online in Yoga with Nita. I'm Nita, and today we're going to be doing a summer yin flow. Focus on the heart and the small intestine meridians, and focus on embracing the joy of summer, the sun's bright and bold energy, and seeing what our body needs to balance that, right? So, summer is very young, it's very drive focused, do, go outside, maybe have some fun. And sometimes our bodies need to balance all of that energy with some ease and stillness. So, we're going to be focusing on that today. Before we begin, just to let you know what we'll need for the practice, we're gonna need yoga blocks if you have them. If you don't, just grab a few, maybe books you can stack, thick books. If you have a bolster, like this one, that might be useful, or just pillows, cushions that you have lying around, like the ones behind me. And then I always invite people to bring a blanket they can roll over. That could also serve as a bolster, or just a blanket you can use in Shavasana or in any other pose to feel extra cozy. And particularly for today's flow, we're going to be using a strap for one of the poses. You don't need one. If you don't have a strap, you can grab a belt or any sort of any strap-like thing that you have. Um, but you don't need it. You can do the pose without it. If you're like, I don't have anything, that's fine. Okay. And before getting started, I am going to draw a card from my Alex Elle deck. It's all about affirmations and manifestation practices. Let's see what the cards tell us today. I trust in my legacy. I trust in my legacy. And it says behind, there will be days where your purpose feels fuzzy or out of reach. In those moments, it can help to zoom out and take a wider view of your life. Instead of focusing on today or tomorrow, think long term. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years, 10 years? What do you want your legacy to be? Close your eyes and meditate on this for a few minutes. So this is something to ponder on, to maybe practice throughout the flow today or just later. All right, so we're going to begin with a bit of meditation. So find a comfortable seat, whether that's on a bolster like me. It really helps to elevate the hips and kind of have sit on the front of your sit bones, okay? That will help you align your spine and lengthen it for meditation. Any cross-legged position works. You can also sit on your heels if that's better. Hands can be on your lap, palms facing down or up. And then just do a few shoulder rugs, right? Shoulder circles. Um, just to the back and then to the front. Maybe a few shrugs. That's what I meant. And then release. And then release. And then release. There we go. Find that seated position that's grounded, and then soften your gaze or close your eyes. And take a moment to arrive here, to land on your mat and notice what the physical body feels like today. Maybe there's some tension. Maybe there's areas of tenderness, or maybe there's softness. Just observe without judging or trying to figure out why or label them. Just welcome your body, welcome all your parts as they are. And then notice how maybe the emotional body is showing up. So any emotions that might be coming to the mat today, we don't label them good or bad, we just see them as they are. And then notice how your energetic body is coming to the mat. So maybe you have lots of energy, hence that summer bubbly energy, that yang drive. Maybe you feel a little restless, or maybe you don't have a lot of energy. Maybe you feel a little drained and tired, or anywhere in between. That's totally fine. And as we observe the physical body, the emotional body, the energetic body, we welcome it with compassion, with kindness. And then start connecting with this summer energy, right? With the sun's bright and bold light. And imagine that the sun is shining this light all over your body. From the top of your head, all the way down to the tip of your toes. Filling yourself with expansion, with abundance, with joy. And start exploring what joy feels like, what this summer sun, full bright energy feels like in your body. Is it warm? Is it tingly? Is it bubbly? Start connecting with this fire and seeing what this season is calling you to honor. And you don't have to have an answer right now. We can explore that throughout the practice and see what comes alive. Feel that sunshine, feel that fire in a way that's not too hot. It's just right. And that concept of just right is also what we're looking for today in our yin's practice. Finding that just right. Balancing fire with darkness, lights, the shadows, and movement with stillness. Now place both hands on your heart space and let's take 3 deep breaths into your heart. Inhaling deeply through your nose. Feeling the chest expand. And exhale to let it all out. Inhale. Feel that your heartbeat, feel the body awaken. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And release. Release the hands. Feel that connection with the heart space. And then very slowly start fluttering your eyelids open if you had your eyes closed. Come back into this space, opening your eyes. All right. We're going to start in reclined butterfly. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. Find a way that works for you. So bring the soles of your feet together to find your butterfly base. Knees wide. If your knees need support, then you might want to bring some blocks under, books, pillows, it all works. Find how close you want your feet to be to your groin. And then for the recline part, you can just recline on your mat, like so. That is already opening the chest. Or you can play with props, maybe lying a bolster or a roll blanket at the base of your spine and lying on top of it. Some people also like doing it this way and lying on top of it. So it depends on what you like and what kind of sensation you're looking for. Today I'm going to go with bolster at the base of the spine. I'm going to go for blocks because my hips are feeling it. And then I'm going to recline. So the arms can go anywhere you like. For today, I invite you to explore what kind of cactus arms feel like here, or kind of in a wing shape. Okay, so they don't have to be like 90 degrees, just opening the heart space here. And then we breathe. Mm. So throughout the flow, we're going to connect with the heart space, with the heart meridian, and the small intestine meridian, which are the summer meridians according to traditional Chinese medicine. And we're starting here to open the chest, even though we're also opening the hips at the same time. Settling into the body, finding stillness, and connecting with that first stopping point, right? So in yin, we're holding these passive postures in a passive way. We're softening. We're not holding or gripping or engaging the muscles. We're just letting the body do what it does in stillness so we can get to those deep connective tissues. And so that first stopping point is different for all of us, is that point that is just right, right? That point that I was talking about is not too much, it's not too little, it's just the exact point of sensation that you need right now in your body. Not what you typically do, not what you did yesterday, is what you need right now. And it's all about listening, becoming aware of your body's cues and signals. Listening to the physical body, but also listening to the mind body, the energetic or spiritual body, to all of our parts. And if at any point it becomes too overwhelming, thoughts, emotions, things may arise. It's normal, that's okay. Maybe you can dial it back in terms of the posture. Maybe it's too much sensation right now or too much emotion. Just dial it back, adjust. And then remember that you always have the breath. You can always redirect the focus. Maybe to that breathing to the heart space that we did. Or maybe breathing into your belly. Finding softness and discomfort. We're going to be here for about 30 seconds more. So got this. Starting to open up the upper body area, chest, shoulders, even the throat a bit. All right. Then the next few breaths, we're going to start coming out of this. So be very gentle first with your arms. And then you can use your hands to kind of bring your legs together. If you're on a bolster, it might be easier to go to one side. And then slide that drop away. So we're going to come into windshield wipers first. Planting soles of the feet, hands behind you. And then just letting your legs fall from one side to the other side. Maybe staying and exploring one side and the other. Opening up the chest, letting your head fall, whatever feels good here. When that feels complete, we're going to lie on our bellies to come into Sphinx. So bring your props along if you need them. Lie on your belly first, extending your legs down the mat, and then come into your forearms. Elbows are below, like under your shoulders, or slightly forward. Check in. Hands are planted, arms are parallel. Check in with lower back. So if this is too much, I would say you can walk your hands further. So less sensation over here. Or you have the option to bring a prop, like a bolster, a rolled blanket, or a cushion under your chest and see what that feels like. Your neck can be neutral. You can be looking ahead. Or if it feels good, you can play with lowering the head, letting it dangle, or placing a block under it. Some people also like using hands to kind of hold their chins here. So you just, we're staying here for a few minutes, finding your Sphinx. Notice if you're tightening your legs, you let your legs relax, let your butt relax. Grounding through those elbows, shining your collarbones forward. So there is some integrity in your upper back. Bringing shoulder blades together, but we're not like gripping, right? Or engaging muscles more than we need to, or anything at all. So starting with the heart meridian, the heart energetic channel. It goes from the heart down to the diaphragm. It also comes from the armpit through the inner arm, all the way to your pinky. So these lines, these energetic lines, there's many things that we can do to work energetically, acupuncture, reflexology, many things. But when we do some of these yin postures that are targeting some of these areas, we're helping that energy flow. So there might be points that are stuck where energy is just not flowing. There might be pain, tension, or just even emotional blockages, right? And so with some of these postures, we're helping kind of move that, flush that. The heart meridian is all about joy and connection, expansion, emotional balance. So you can start to think about what makes your heart feel full. And bringing it into that summer energy, what's something that fills you up during this season? Even if you're not a summer person, that's okay. All right, for the next few breaths, there's an option to turn this into seal. If you don't like this, you can stay in Sphinx, okay? So if you want to come along to seal, you can bring the hands kind of wider towards the edge of your mat and walk them towards you and come up to seal. See what that feels like. If you're like, nah, I'm good, this is too much, come back to Sphinx. Breathe. Soften the space between your eyebrows, soften your jaw. Remember that if at any point you're in pain, that's an indication to come out of the pose. We don't want you in pain at all, ever. Anchor in the breath. Anchor in the energy in your heart space. And then very slowly release your seal or your Sphinx if you were there. And we're going to come straight into child's pose, okay? So plant the hands, come through tabletop, and then widen the knees as wide as your yoga mat, big toes together. Walk your hands forward, and then drop your forehead to the ground, or if it doesn't touch the ground, that's okay. You can use your hands, you can do fists, or a block is a beautiful option as well. So find your child's pose. And in here, the invitation is to explore maybe something you don't typically do. Explore this hand variation of bringing, I'm going to remove this for a second, bringing your hands in prayer behind your neck. And see what that feels like. If you can, if your body allows you to. This might create different sensations in your arms, open up your armpits a bit more. And if you're like, I don't like this, I don't feel this, come back to any of your arm variation. Deepening the inhales, softening on the exhales. Remembering that if the mind wanders, that's okay. Notice the thought, and then refocus, redirect to your breath, to your body. What makes your heart full? What makes you feel full and What makes it feel like filled with joy and abundance? What makes you feel connected and in balance? And how can you start incorporating some of these things into your day, into your life? Instead of waiting for the right moment, the right circumstance, the right thing, like how can you start doing, bringing that in a little bit, a tiny bit, right now? A few more breaths here. Noticing what the body is saying. Noticing how the ground has you and how the breath carries you. All right. Very slowly, we're going to come out of child's pose. And we're going to transition to melting heart. So there's a slight difference, well, many difference between child's pose and melting heart. First, we're going to come into tabletop for a second. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Okay. So instead of bringing our hips down as we do in child's pose, our knees are going to stay under our hips. And then we're going to walk our hands forward and melt our chest towards the mat. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. If your neck allows, you can bring your chin to the mat. That's pretty deep sometimes for neck and throat. You can leave your forehead on. There's also an option to use our beautiful props and place them like a bolster under the chest as well for this one. Yeah. Of course, you're gonna have to like wiggle and shuffle to make sure that you're still stacking, hips over knees. And then there's also the option of using your forearm to rest your forehead. So many, many options here. Find the one that works for you. I'm gonna do the forearm and check in. Melting heart, melting the heart toward the earth. Check in with your knees. If your knees are feeling this, you can also fold the mat, place a blanket. Breathe. Filling the heart space with expansion, with light, with summer's fire, and releasing anything that doesn't serve today. Noticing the openness in the armpits, the chest, If you were using one form, you can switch now. Use the other forearm to rest your forehead. And also observing if you have gone too far. So that sometimes happens. We want to go right to the edge of sensation right away. And you don't have to. That's why we have stopping points. So that's why we maybe go to that first stopping point where you feel like that's just right for you. And then you let the body open while in stillness, with curiosity, with compassion, not trying to push it. And then eventually, maybe you go to that next stopping point. But sometimes as we go through life, we just want to go deeper, faster, stronger right away, all the time. And this practice is all about the opposite. It's about slowing down, listening, and knowing where to hang out. Like what's the spot? All right, just a few more breaths in this one. You got this. All right. To come out, very slowly walk your hands toward you. So press into the hands and walk them back to tabletop. And then here, we're gonna do some cat-cow. So this might feel very yummy. So maybe you first you wiggle your hips, or you go straight into inhaling, dropping belly, lifting crown of the head and tailbone into cow, exhaling, coming into cat, rounding the back, belly button to spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then do a couple more, as many as you need at your own pace. Maybe you doing with a few circles one way and a few circles the other way. Maybe you will go up and down with your hips, whatever feels good for you. And once that feels complete, we're gonna come into saddle for a few arm postures. So for saddle, there's a couple of ways we can do this. So I'll show you from behind so it's easier to see. So bring your knees together and you can try just sitting on your heels and see what that feels like. If that's too much, you can try maybe sitting on a bolster or a cushion in between bum and heels. Then the other option is to start coming into sitting in the middle of your heels. So opening the heels and sitting in that space. That can be a lot sometimes for the ankles. So some people like placing something in between them, like a block or something. So that's another way. All right, so find a saddle situation that works for you. I think I'm gonna try the block today. And again, what works for you today? So not what you typically do, not what your mind is telling you to do. So what works today? Have your strap handy because we're going to be doing a thing with it later. But first, just to sit on our saddle, whatever version of that is, ground through the sit bones, whether they're on the mat, on a block, wherever, lengthen through the spine. And then we're going to hold yourself with the right arm over the left. Just give yourself a hug like this. Bringing the shoulders down. And then we're going to come into eagle arms if that feels available for you. by bringing the back of our hands together. You can stay here or you can clasp the hands for eagle arms. If eagle arms is too much for shoulders, for the body right now, you can stay here, hugging yourself. Right? So wherever you are, whether you're an eagle or hugging, check in. And then if you want to explore a different sensation, you can see what folding forward feels like. If folding forward is not working for you today, then you can stay seating up. Just different variations and sensations for your body. Not a single one of these options is better than the other one, okay? I'm not giving it an order or worst to best. It's options, right? So you pick what you like. And you breathe into it. Trying to soften and release tension as much as you can. Breathing. So we're targeting also the small intestine meridian, which goes from the pinky up the arm, down the shoulder blades, up through the neck, jaw, and ear. And the small intestine is all about, we're almost there, separating the pure from the impure. So it has to do with digestion, but also with discernment. Okay, start. Inhaling back up if you were folding. Release the arms wherever you are. Give yourself a shake. Maybe straighten them, create some tension, then release. Tension, release. And then we're going to go to the other side. So hug yourself with left over right. And then you can stay here or come back to eagle arms on the other side. If you started with the left side, just do the opposite side. So the back of the palms can be touching, or you can just clasp. And then again, explore if you'd like to fold. I think on this side. See, each side is different. I feel better staying up. Each shoulder is different. Everything, every single part of our bodies, it doesn't have to be symmetrical or perfect or the same, right? So again, small intestine, digestion, discernment, has to do with decision making and mind clarity. Separating pure from impure, not just from a physical standpoint, but also from a mental and spiritual standpoint, right? So you can start reflecting on what is your truth? Discernment, right? What is your truth? Breathe here. You got this. If there's imbalances in this meridian, in the small intestine, maybe you feel foggy or indecisive. Maybe you have some digestion issues. All right. If you were folding, Slowly come back up. And then wherever you are, release the arms. Shake, 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 shake. Maybe stretch, create tension, release. Stretch, create tension, release. If saddle is like, oof, the saddle position, I don't know about this, feel free to change it up or just come to your hands, maybe tappy, 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 because we have one more here. If you're like, I don't feel like saddling anymore, come into a comfortable seat. That's okay. We're focusing on the arms right now. I'm just giving you a little extra on the legs as we're here. So we're gonna do some cow face arms now. So grab your strap or your belt or your whatever you have, if you have it. If not, that's okay. And then just, you're gonna place it on top of your right shoulder, like if you were holding a handbag. Right. Just leave it there for now. And then you're gonna inhale and raise your right arm. And then the exhale, you're gonna pat yourself in the back here and grab your strap behind your shoulder. Okay, and then on another inhale, you're gonna extend your left arm, palm facing back. And on the exhale, you're gonna bring it back to grab that strap. So I'm gonna show you just in case. This is what it might look like. So if you don't have a strap, that's okay. Maybe you can clasp your hands. I can't. Or you can just place your palms on your back like this. You can also use your clothing to kind of stand it or grab, hold on to. But you can just softly place the hands here. This is already creating a lot, okay? If you have the strap, just hold it and maybe try to walk your hands toward each other until you find that sensation, okay? And then we breathe here. Let's stay seated up for this one. Feeling the opening, especially in that right armpit. And the internal rotation of the left shoulder. And breathing into sensation, right? And I know that we're holding a strap, so as much as you can, try to soften your fingers while grabbing the strap, right? So it's sometimes we create more tension than we need to. So see if you're gripping your fingers way more than you need to. You can hold the strap softly. Then keep it in place. Or if you don't have a strap, see if you're also like gripping your fingers on your back. Just gently place them on your back. I have about 30 more seconds here. You're doing great. What is your truth? What is the summer energy inviting you to see clearly, right? What is the light of the sun shining upon? All right, release the strap. Woo. Shake, 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 shake. If you want to do that tension again, you can do tension and release. Tension and release. Okay, we got another side now. So do your little handbags thing on your left shoulder this time. And then inhale, lift your left arm up. And then exhale, pat yourself in the back, grab that strap. Inhale, extend the right arm, palm facing back. Exhale, bring it back to meet your hand or grab the strap. And then walk your hands toward each other. Try to find the right hole of the strap. And breathe. So you might not be a summer person, right? It's okay. Some people are more winter, fall. Some people really don't like the heat, right? But the sun's like energy during summer is an energy of expansion, of joy, of connection. And it might be inviting you to try something new, to, I don't know, grow some of your edges, step into something. Or perhaps you're too much like me, like a summer person, a doer, a young, um, inclined, let's say. Even though I'm a yin teacher, I'm very, very young sometimes. And the summer, it kind of invites you to go outside and do all the things and not miss a second if the sun's like light. And especially here in Calgary where it rains so much and well, not rains, it snows so much and it's very cold most of the year. Um, so I almost feel like I can't miss a beat, right? And maybe this energy is inviting us not only to step into something, but to balance it, right? To find the ease in that doing drive, to find stillness and nourishment, to find moments of cooling restoration. So, what is summer inviting you to honor? Maybe it's doing less. One more breath here. And release. Ooh. Release the strap. You can set it aside. And give yourself shake, 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 shake. Maybe some extension, release. Extension and release. Maybe some shoulder circles. Back, forward. Whatever you need to wash that out. And then come into tabletop and maybe pat, pat, pat. Oof. I'm gonna go on my mat here. There you go. Pat, pat, pat. Good. So sip of water, sip of tea, whatever you need, because then we're gonna lie on our backs. So lie on your back. I'm gonna move this here for later. And then bring your knees to your chest for a second. Give yourself a hug here. Maybe sway from side to side. And then extend the legs down when that feels complete. And we're going to anchor our hips and our bum in place so they're not moving. And we're going to move our feet all the way to the right low corner of the mat. Oop, let me get this way. There we go. Until you can't move them any further. You'll reach a point where you're like, this is it. You can keep your feet together. You can clasp left over right or right over left. You choose. Then we're going to place our arms behind your head. Imagine you're like outside at a park in a sunny summer day, enjoying the breeze, watching the birds and the trees and the sky. And then lift your head and you're going to shimmy only your shoulders and your head. So your hips are staying where they are to the upper right corner of your mat until you can't move any further. So we're into Bananasana. We're creating sort of a banana form with our body. Your hands can stay behind your head if that feels good, or you can try extending them overhead and then maybe grabbing your left wrist with your right hand and keeping it in place. So we're not pulling, we're just keeping it in place. Notice the sensation in your left side body here. Notice the compression in your right side body. And start integrating everything we've gone through today. The joy, the expansion, and the abundance that the heart meridian brings, that summer brings as well. And then the clarity and the discernment that the small intestine brings as well. And the invitation to balance the summer drive, the heat with stillness, with cooling things, with activities that let you soften and look inward. If your hands or your arms get tingly here, just lower them. Just you can lower them to your belly, to sides of your body, right? So you might be just hitting a nerve here. Remember, we don't want you to be in any pain or numbing sensation or burning sensation in any of these. All right. Next inhale, we come back to center. Legs come back to center. If you need to give yourself a bit of a hug here to reset, you can do that. Or maybe move the legs, whatever you need. And then extend them back down. And we're going to do the other side. So first the feet. First we anchor our hips. So they're in the center, they're in place, they're grounded. And then we move our feet towards the lower left side until we can't move them any further. And then you make a decision whether you want to leave your feet together or just bring one on top of the other. I find that here just bringing the right over left helps me, but it also increases the sensation on my side. Okay, so then we bring our hands behind our head here, interlacing our fingers. Take a breath here. Imagine your beautiful blue sky, birds singing, and a beautiful summer day that's not too hot. And then just bring your head and your shoulders towards that upper left corner until you can't move any further. You can leave your hands here or you can extend them, grabbing your right wrist with the left hand. Feel your side body, your right side body, compared to the left. What does it feel like? Deepening the inhales and the exhales. Noticing what the body's feeling like. Physical body, the emotional body, and the energetic body compared to when you started the practice. Breathing into your heart space, feeling the chest expand. And just a few more breaths on this side. All right. And then very slowly release your feet, your hands, come back to center. And then we're going to take a few reclined twists. So bring your knees to your chest and then let them fall towards the right. You can look up or look to the left. Hands can hold, right hand can hold your legs. Left arm can be extended or in cactus. Breathing into the twist. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, let them drop to the left side or the other side. Starting to feel the body get heavy here as we come to the end. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Take anything else that you need. Maybe it's a bit of a waterfall with the legs, a dead bug, maybe some bicycle legs, whatever you need before taking Shavasana. And for your Shavasana, make sure you're extra comfortable. So maybe you get your blanket if it's not too hot, because again, summer's coming. And then you can also get a bolster under the knees or a bolster under your neck. Take space, extend the legs, extend the arms, get heavy. And maybe soften your face, soften your eyes, or close them. Melting here. Letting all the tension go. And then imagine that sunshine we brought in at the beginning that's washing all over your body again, from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, your chest, belly, your whole torso, your hips, down through your legs, your ankles, your feet, through your arms, all the way down to your hands, until you're just covered by this bold, beautiful light. And then with each breath, you're feeling just a little more abundant, just a little more expansive. Yet you're feeling soft, held, connected, balanced. Like your yang and your yin are in harmony. Your heart is full and you have clarity. Now I'm going to leave you with a poem by Mark Twain. It's called Warm Summer Sun. Warm summer sun, shine kindly here. Warm southern wind, blow softly here. Green sod above, lie light, lie light. Good night, dear heart. Good night, good night. Very gently start waking up your fingers and your toes, wiggling them, starting to bring some energy into your hands and your feet. And you're welcome to close the practice here in Shavasana if you still need more rest. Please do. I never want to rush you out of your Shavasana. Or if you'd like to close in a seated position, then take your time to come here. Now, wherever you are, let's take a few breaths together, inhaling deeply through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Big sigh. One more inhale. Bring your hands to heart center and then exhale, bowing. Namaste.